understand this better. If staying in Lagos is so expensive that is pulling you down, change, leave Lagos. When you bounce back, you come in. For as long as you are struggling you keep on getting deeper. Do you have the 1 year rent now that you want more time? Do you have it?
I don't have it.
If you have it and you know you are going to pay, you are ready to pay that 1 year rent, I'll ask him to extend. But before you move out, you pay for that period again. But that is unfair. You are depriving him of income. You have children too. You want somebody to play that out with your kids? Will you be happy? It's not so. You are not feeling fine. Quite all right. You have relatives, don't you? You have children, don't you? You can move in with any one of them. Temporarily. Let them nurse you back to health. Then you get another apartment. Maybe get something smaller if you can't afford where you are right now. Look for something that you can conveniently and easily afford. Why are you stressing yourself? You don't have the rent now. You still want the rent to keep on piling up, the money to keep on increasing. I don't understand. What's the basis for that?
Mommy, by June, let me go out. I beg.
June next year.
You can help me. I don't start today.
You are very unreasonable. I'm sorry.
Your Honor.
You are very, very unreasonable.
Your Honor.
I'm telling you, you don't have rent to pay. You have spent how many months in the house?
I don't start today. If
So,
not
okay,
that body
how do you want to be paying the one that is outstanding? You want more time, but the one you are owing now, how do you want to pay it?
By the time, maybe.
Maybe. You're not sure.
I don't know what to say.
You're not sure.
Yes, mommy. What else?
I'm not mommy.
Okay. Honorable. Honorable, please.
Order.
I'm begging. I don't have any help.
Talk to him.
I don't have any help. I'm
Talk
a
to
widow.
him.
I just manage myself.
You want to stay in his house without
Please.
paying rent, free, until any day that you feel like packing out, you feel you have enough money? It doesn't work. That it doesn't work. Think about it. Turn the table round. If you are the one in his shoes, how will you feel?
If God help me now, I come out to here and I see the money. Tomorrow I will leave.
If you don't see it, then what happens?
Huh?
If you don't see it, what happens?
I'm struggling. I'm planning.
You've been struggling for how many months now? From October last year till now.
Since that time, I'm not.
Talk to discuss. Let me have your opinion on this.
Your Honor, there is really nothing I want to hear from her, because her son was actually the one who took the apartment for her.
Oh, she's not even the one.
She wasn't the one who came direct. Okay. She came through her son. And what her son told us was, because my late dad actually owns the property, and my late dad wanted to evict her before we lost him. So the son never told us that there are so many grandkids that will be staying with her. She has more than 12 grandchildren staying with her in just a room and parlor, self-contained. It's as bad as one of the grandkids actually threw a stone from upstairs and damaged my car glass. We nearly painted the house. When we went to inspect the paint, we noticed she put a mop that was dripping water on the railings of the apartment. So it's really nothing that we can't condole her anymore. So what we actually want her to do is to leave the apartment.
Okay, nice. You just want eviction. You're not even asking.
We are not even asking her for that.
Oh.
The plaintiff, Kayode Odubanjo, claims that his father rented an apartment to the son of the defendant. Now his father has passed, the son is nowhere to be found, and unpaid rent has been accumulating. The defendant, Eunice Bosondo, admitted that her son rented the apartment for her, but due to her health and family challenges, it has been impossible to renew the rent or vacate the apartment. She had earlier pleaded to be allowed a year's stay in the apartment after her rent expired. Now in court, she is asking for additional 8 months. Judge Fumi wades into this matter.
So you are even lucky. Very lucky. So what you do? How long do you want to give her to move out?
Till the end of, we can give her till the end of next month.
October.
To make it 1 year.
Now we find money to come out.
Madam.
Now I will see
You
money.
know-
Even if I want beg somebody to stay with them, is it one within
The son no longer picks
How
our
much?
call.
How much
Your
are you paying for?
not
How much are you paying for?
300?
Per
Honor. No, it's
annum?
not even 300, my honor. We have the cheapest house at Igondo. She pays 250.
How many bedroom apartment?
It's a 1 room and parlor self-contained.
1 room and parlor. So you have grandchildren staying with you.
I have grandchildren.
How many of them?
Huh?
How many?
The one that stays with me, will come with me. They are 8.
Okay.
All of both my children. Because it's when I am not okay, when I'm sick, I say let them go there because small to why they do. Now when I take the feed. So their mother carry them come. They go there, I take and they eat. They go hospital. Because the one where they help me, and the one waiting to the house for me.
Where is that one now?
And since that I never hear him, even though me I'm afraid. I don't know it's because
Is he
not
abroad?
in job.
Is he outside Nigeria?
No, you see, they have challenges. You see, that is the problem. Not that
So
they
all
never
of-
default.
All of them, the other children too. they can't assist you.
There's no work. They don't have anything doing. It's only this one that is helping me
Is he your relative? Are you related?
with this. No, it's my landlord's son.
Is your landlord?
It's my
So you are
landlord's
not
son.
related. So you can't carry your own family problem
I know.
and put it on his head.
Even when the father.
You understand me? And you see, I think they've tried for him to even waive all the money you are owing. Because you see, you have to be able to live up to your words. Last year, you went there, you even got a lawyer to write a letter to him. And you said that is true because I asked you. You said yes. The lawyer wrote them to request for 1 year for you to stay for 1 more year in the house.
Mommy, honorable, you know what happened?
What happened?
When I go out, when I come back, people are telling me that I carry people to come and throw away my load. That is waiting bring life. I've been begging them. So maybe they have patience, even though if for 2 years or 3 years I stay. I
You know
will pay
what?
them.
Let me tell
I
you
will
one
pay.
thing. Let me
You
tell you one
understand?
thing.
Like now,
I'm going to do one thing. Listen to me, right? By October, you requested for. Please give her till November. You know why I said November? Now she knows she must leave. All this while, she has not been looking for any alternative
At all.
accommodation.
Why?
So let's give her the room. Do you understand? Time to look for somewhere else. So give her till November ending. You have up to November ending, last day of November. That's what the law says.
Honorable.
You have to go.
Honorable,
What is it?
can I find any money now to go from now till November? That is 2 months.
You can't keep on staying in his house forever. He has to.
I
He has
cannot
to.
stay there, and I no wish to stay there.
So you will move.
I no wish to stay there.
You know
If
what?
not that
Start
I'm
looking for where to
physical-
go now, madam. You
physical-
understand?
If not my
Let me
physical
tell you
challenge.
something, Eunice. Let me tell you, right? 2 things ought to be happening now. Ordinarily, you should be looking for the money to pay for the time you spent in that house without paying. Secondly, you should be looking for money to get somewhere else that you will move into. Even though I know it's not compulsory, you obtain another apartment, you can look for somewhere or somebody to live with temporarily.
I don't have anybody.
So anybody, where are you from?
From Imo State. I don't have anybody.
All of us, we all have family houses. We are
I don't have.
Nigerians. You don't have a family house.
I don't have. I mean, I cannot lie to you.
But you can't live in his house forever.
I know.
Okay.
Just
And he wants you to go in October. I've told him to let you leave by November. What
Please.
else do you want?
The plaintiff decided not to collect the overdue rent, but demanded that the tenant vacate the apartment. After the break, Judge Fumi rules.
No, you asked for 1 year. Ordinarily, you should not be taking a day after that 1 year you requested for. You got a lawyer, and I'm sure that lawyer would have told you the implication that time. There is no lawyer that will help you to write a landlord to ask for an extension of time that will not explain to you that that period of time you will pay for it. But now they are waiving it. My judgment for the plaintiff, the landlord has waived the rent that the tenant is owing, but the tenant is to vacate the premises by the last day of November 2020.
Mommy, please.
All rise.
On the Justice Court, the partners are back in court to establish the paternity of their child.
All rise. Court in session. Honorable Judge Fumi Asaolu presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, this case is between Helen Okome and Abraham Okonkwo. That is fine.
Thank you, Epi.
One day, I got back from work and she called me and said she was pregnant. So, and I was like, okay, what do you want? So we agreed that she was going to give birth to the child. I said, okay. So 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Then I was kind of busy. I was going to work every day, so the pregnancy was not showing. I had to take her to hospital for a scan. So when I got there, the doctor was like, she's just 1 month, and she was 1 month pregnant. I was like, it's impossible.
The plaintiff, Okonkwo Abraham, claims that he doubts if he is responsible for Helen's pregnancy because the duration of the pregnancy stated by Helen is inconsistent with laboratory scan results. Judge Fumi recommends a DNA test after Helen puts to bed and helps both parties to reach amicable settlement on upkeep.
Really. Abraham brought it to court.
Your Honor, actually, we've had so many issues that I could not say the first day we were here. So, and I'm not saying them now. So it gave me so much doubt that I had to request for a DNA test. Because we all know what's happening these days. Okay? I don't want to take chances. That's just it. So that I will know what I'm fighting for and what I'm struggling for, what I'm hustling for also. You understand? So that's just it, Your Honor.
Do you have anything to say?
No.
Okay. Can we have the result? I believe the result is ready. Yes, can we have it?
Your Honor, here's the result.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks, Aki. We have the result here. Links DNA Laboratories. The above summary shows that Abraham Chinemerem Okoronkwo is the biological father of the tested male child, Nelson Chinecherem Abraham, as plainly expressed on the DCC test result sheet overleaf. DNA analysis positive. Probability of paternity 99.999995%. How do you feel?
Relieved.
Pardon?
I feel relieved.
Don't you think she deserves an apology?
She actually deserve an apology.
So let's give the apology before we go ahead.
Helen, I'm very, very sorry for taking this to this extent. I think we both know why it got to this stage, but I'm really sorry. Sorry.
I'm fine.
You accepted this apology. You see why it's always good to be cautious. It's good to address your doubt as well, because at that point you'll be at peace.
Yes.
Moving forward.
So,
Arise.
Your Honor, I want to say something, please. Yeah, I believe I went too far. Okay? I've always thought of what if Nelson is my son. So how would she feel that I brought her out this far, you know? But at the same time, Your Honor, you're a mother. I know. And there are things I think you know more than Helen. There are things you can, chip in into her, teach her. Right here and right now. And those things are things that maybe if I had told her, she wouldn't have believed me. She would want to argue it.
You know what I want to do? I love this call for an external interference in your relationship. You know what it means? You've realized and accepted that you have challenges on ground,
Yes.
which you want resolved, and you need the assistance. You know what I'm going to do? I'll refer the two of you to the professionals, where the two of you are able to air off camera.
Okay.
That way, you feel relaxed to say everything out,
Okay.
and they will guide you on how to move forward.
The DNA test confirms Abraham is the biological father of the child. Judge Fumi advises both parties to use the service of a counselor to address other personal concerns in their relationship. After the break, Judge Fumi wraps this matter.
So, when you leave here now, the courtroom, go to the legal team. Let them arrange that for you.
Okay.
Go for minimum of 4. You can have maximum of 8 sessions.
Okay.
After that, if you still have any issue, report back. They will know how to take it up from that angle as well. I wish you all the best. Ellen, you see, in life, challenges come. Do you understand? Things are not always the way we want it to be. But the two of you have to work hand in hand. He's been humble about everything. And that takes a man. When you know you have done something wrong, you accept that. And you are looking for a way forward. I'm not saying you are a saint. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you are without fault. So I want you to, the two of you to cooperate with each other. Do you understand? So go to the legal team. That's my ruling. Arise.
All rise.
If your baby daddy is denying paternity of the child to avoid upkeep, or you suspect misattributed paternity situations, submit your case online at www.thejusticecourt.com for a prompt resolution of the matter.
This your treacherous body would have been manure for the motherland. Listen to the words of a corpse. You cannot win this war.
My production career started off practically by some form of divine intervention. I work in TV production, and I've done that in advertising for over 20 years. I do storytelling as well. I do narrative. I've done films, TV series, etc. I taught myself to draw, and that meant 4 hours of sketching every day. Minutely competent, where people will say, this doesn't suck. You actually have to practice.
For God's sakes, Emeka, we don't even have enough guns or food. What were you thinking?
If you and Uzogu had not unleashed your unique brand of madness last January, we wouldn't be swimming in beers and blood.
It was a revolution!
I was one of my uncles, and he got me a job in, then it was Vanguard newspapers in Apapa. And I got to meet all my heroes because in those days, I knew every cartoonist of every Nigerian publication by name because I would always look for the signature. Advertising was obviously the way to go. English then, if you're doing English, you're either going to be a teacher or something. I was like, no, this is a cool industry. This industry is really cool. It's really being paid to be creative. I was sent around the agency to learn every aspect of advertising. And when I got to TV production, the then head of TV production of SO&U, then Mr. Greg Odutayo, said to me, okay, I want him. So he just made a request. There are many highlights. I've won awards for films I've made, TV series I've done. But let me just jump forward. The most recent thing I've done I'm extremely proud of is being one of the 3 directors on MTV Sugar, Niger. Then you have to learn. So when I came into the production, I was always asking questions. So I was on a quest to know why this visual image was better than this visual image. And that got me into studying and learning about production. It helps to be always focused on what will make you win. There's a very healthy sense of motivating yourself to always get things right. Make sure your work is up to standard. It resembles anything else across any other platform across the world. The second thing is it must have your identity. It must have your strong cultural identity.
Hello and welcome. My name is Nyamgul Agaji. This is the news update. President Bola Tinubu has announced a 30-day confab for youths in the country to discuss and address challenges confronting them. Tinubu stated this on Tuesday during Nigeria's 64th Independence Day anniversary broadcast. The president said the modalities of the confab and selection of delegates would be designed as soon as possible.
The 30-day confab will unite young people nationwide to collaboratively develop solutions to issues such as education, employment, innovation, security, and social justice. The modality of this confab and selection of delegates will be designed in close consultation with our young people through their representatives. Through this compact, it will be our job as leaders to ensure that their aspirations are at the heart of the conference deliberations. The government will thoroughly consider and implement the recommendations and outcomes from this forum as we remain resolute in our mission to build a more inclusive, prosperous, and united Nigeria.
Despite the numerous challenges the country has faced, President Bola Tinubu has affirmed that Nigeria remains a strong, united, and viable sovereign nation. In his address to the nation, the president stated that Nigeria's independence anniversary provides an opportunity for citizens to reflect on the nation's progress and renew their commitment to building a better future for present and future generations. On the security front, the president reported that his administration is winning the war against terror and banditry. The target is to eliminate all threats from Boko Haram, bandits, kidnappers, and other violent extremists. According to the latest count, over 300 Boko Haram and bandit commanders have been eliminated by the country's gallant troops in the northeast, northwest, and other affected regions.
On the security front, I am happy to announce to you, my compatriots, that our administration is winning the war on terror and banditry. Our target is to eliminate all threats of Boko Haram, banditry, kidnapping for ransom, and the scourge of all forms of violent extremism. Within 1 year, our government has eliminated many Boko Haram and bandit commanders faster than ever. As of the last count, over 300 Boko Haram and bandit commanders have been eliminated by our gallant troops in the northeast, northwest, and some other part of the country. We have restored peace to hundreds of communities in the north, and thousands of our people have been able to return home. It is an unfinished business, I agree, which our security agencies are committed to ending as quickly as possible. As soon as we can restore peace to many communities in the troubled part of the north, our farmers can return to their farms.
The government said it has responded to recent natural disasters, particularly the flooding in parts of the country, by approving a disaster relief fund through the Federal Executive Council. This fund will mobilize private and public sector resources to enable faster emergency response.
Our government has been responding to the recent natural disasters, particularly the flooding in the part of the country. After Vice President Kashim Shettima visited Maiduguri, I also visited to assure our people that this federal government will always stand with our people in their times of trouble. At the last meeting of the Federal Executive Council, we approved a disaster relief fund to mobilize private and public sector funds to help us respond faster to emergencies. Our government has also ordered integrity tests of our dams in the country to avert future disasters.
Social media influencer Martin Sotse, popularly known as Very Dark Man, along with his lawyer Deji Adeonju, have appeared before the Joint House Committee on alleged corruption against the EFCC and Nigeria Correctional Center officials with Okuneye Idris, popularly known as Bobrisky. He insisted on his allegation that he has an audio recording of the conversation between Bobrisky and someone he purportedly demanded 4 million from to settle a pressing issue with, which he tendered to the committee along with other documents.
How I got hold of that recording is as a result of Bobrisky blackmailing somebody he owes money. So according to the story and according to the evidence, that's a proof of chats that was sent to me. The person borrowed Bobrisky 4 million naira when Bobrisky was in the EFCC detention, or rather in the private apartment lodge. The person gave him the money. So when it was time to get the money back, according to the story the guy told me and the evidence I saw, he told Bobrisky he wanted that money to complete his building in Lagos. So that was why I borrowed him the money. It was now time to pay. From the receipt I have here, I sent him a message. Bobrisky refused to respond. Sent him another one after like few days. Bobrisky also refused to respond. When Bobrisky eventually responded, Bobrisky said, I'm going to give you the money in, I think, September. So September 1st, the guy reached out to Bobrisky again. Bobrisky refused. And the next thing that followed it was blackmail.
Bobrisky didn't know that this guy recorded everything. But because Bobrisky, obviously I have the platform, yeah? He understands how I roll. So he quickly paid, but I said, no, it has to go there.
Recall that the very black man also made an allegation on social media of bribery against officials of the EFCC and the Nigerian Correctional Center for receiving 15 million naira from the embattled cross-dresser to drop money laundering charges against him, which went viral. However, representatives of the two government agencies denied the allegation before the committee. For the NCC, they insisted that Bobrisky never left the facility of the correctional service, but was only moved from the medium to the maximum facility.
Because Idris' friends and some family members donated chairs, 21 plastic chairs, to the visit area environment that doesn't have, they have inconvenient chairs. Chairs were not enough. So when they come to visit sometimes, when they come to visit, they discover that there is lack of chairs. So they went and donated chairs and wrote the name of Idris Okuneye Olarewaju as the donor. Then the next minute it went viral on social media, sensing that this may cause security breach. The controller took action.
Who moved him? Who moved him?
I was not present, but let me say this. I was not present, but let me tell you.
In Lagos State, that Bobrisky has served his sentence is actually true. There is no time that Bobrisky spent a single day outside. On the second issue of suspension, the officers concerned were duly suspended by the board to pave way for investigation. That is where we are now. And the letters will come today because it was on Friday. The letters will come today.
Okuneye, popularly known as Bobrisky, was however absent at the hearing. His lawyer cited illness as reasons for his inability to attend. The committee has however vowed to see to the bottom of the matter with the aim of unraveling the truth on the allegation of bribery leveled against the two government agencies.
To Falanas, in their offer to Bobrisky to facilitate his release through the Minister of Justice using presidential pardon. Flowing from the above, it is very clear that these allegations of corruption are weighty controversies against two of the nation's key agencies. They are symbols of national unity, honor, and discipline. Hence, all must be ready to give the fullest cooperation as we try to get to the root cause and unravel the facts of the matter.
We now move to other parts of Africa. The United Nations says it has registered more than 350,000 Sudanese refugees and asylum seekers protections in North Africa so far this year, with 97,000 migrants entering Libya since last April. Overall, Sivanka Dhanapala, the director of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, says that between January and August this year, it is estimated that over 134,000 refugees and migrants departed by sea from North and West Africa towards Europe, a slight decrease from the previous year. Per Lijard, the director of the International Organization for Migration, also briefed the Council, saying the factors that drive individuals to leave their homes and the severe challenges of navigating migrational routes is one of today's pressing issues that need firm and urgent action. Outside Africa, the UN Security Council has voted unanimously to extend the mandate of the Kenya-led multinational force helping to tackle gang violence in Haiti after brushing off a call from Haiti to start talks on transforming it into a UN peacekeeping mission. According to the final draft obtained by the Associated Press, China and Russia succeeded in eliminating the paragraph in the resolution that acknowledged the call by the president of Haiti's Transitional Presidential Council at the UN General Assembly to start a discussion on moving to a UN peacekeeping force. Last Thursday, called by Edgar LeBlanc Fields, was the first public announcement of support by a government official since the United States proposed a UN peacekeeping mission in early September as a way to secure more resources for the Kenya-led mission. Nearly 400 Kenyan officers are now in Haiti, joined by nearly 24 police officers and soldiers from Jamaica. The officers fall significantly short of the 2,500 pledged by various countries, including Chad, Benin, Bangladesh and Barbados for the mission. It is also seriously short of funding. In business news, President Bola Tinubu has reiterated his administration's commitment to fostering a business-friendly environment that embraces free enterprise, free entry and free exit for investments. At the same time, he emphasized the importance of maintaining the sanctity and efficacy of regulatory processes. In his Independence Day address, the president highlighted that this guiding principle has shaped the divestment transactions in the upstream petroleum sector, where the administration is determined to drive positive change. He hinted that the ExxonMobil Seplat divestment, which has been concluded by the industry regulator NUPRC, in accordance with the Petroleum Industry Act PIA, is poised to receive ministerial approval in the coming days. By prioritizing both economic freedom and regulatory oversight, President Tinubu's administration aims to strike a balance that attracts investment while ensuring a well-regulated and transparent business environment. In entertainment news, social media influencer Very Dark Man has issued an apology to human rights lawyer Femi Falana over recent innuendos made against him. Very Dark Man appeared before the House of Representatives Joint Committee on Financial Crimes and Reformatory Institutions on Monday. He initially claimed not to believe Falana was involved in the bribery allegations made against him by cross-dresser Bob Risky. However, Very Dark Man later expressed regret and apologized for any misunderstanding caused by his previous statements. He acknowledged that Falana's name being associated with such allegations was deeply upsetting and that he had initially refused to believe it. And finally, sports news. With the poor outing of Nigerian athletes in the just concluded Olympics Games and other international field and track competitions in recent times, the need to go back to the drawing board by focusing on the development of sports at the grassroots level has yet been emphasized. This charge was given at the National Amateur Boxing and Mixed Martial Arts Championship organized by Global Association of Mixed Martial Arts Nigeria in collaboration with the Edo State Sports Commission. The event, which had various athletes in the boxing and mixed martial art profession, converged at the indoor sports hall of Samuel Igbemudia Stadium in Benin City, the Edo State capital, to slug it out for the top prize of the day. Speaking shortly after the event, the representative of the organizer, Ryan Fayed, revealed that the competition was part of a deliberate plan to develop boxing and mixed martial art and other related sports in the country by scouting for raw talents at the grassroots level. On their part, the athletes commended the organizers for the championship while noting that the competition has made them more exposed as well as sharpened their skills owing to the state-of-the-art facilities made available by the organizers. And that's the news update. For more stories, please follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram, and do subscribe to our YouTube channel at Plus TV Africa and Plus TV Africa Lifestyle. You can also view us on limex.tv and Glow TV apps anywhere in the world. My name is Nyamgul Agaji. Thank you for being there.
I will take you through this amazingness today.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Buki November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
Many people are often in psychological conflict between individuality and societal expectations. Thus, due to not knowing any better, or sometimes out of the audacity of thinking that they do, many tout these norms and expectations as the one single version of the truth. Oftentimes, we are judged by them, driving many to sacrifice the happiness they can attain as unique individuals for the rule of society that do not really matter in the grand scheme of things, and that many do not even sincerely follow themselves. Well, here's what I say. Flout their tout. A wise person once said, "Don't base your decisions on the advice of those who don't have to deal with your issues." The fact that you have remained single for a long time, especially if you're a woman, is often viewed as some kind of stigma in many parts of the world, even in the so-called liberal parts of society. But I'm here to tell you that regardless of what your relationship status is, and in fact, and now I'm ad-libbing, irrespective of what your status, your age, your phase of life is, you are in an enviable position because you have the opportunity to write a new script for yourself, to create a beautiful, wonderful, and fulfilling life. So no, do not keep your head down. That is the last thing that you should do. Do not compare your life to others. You have no idea what their journey is all about, Woody Hayes said. My name is Adefunke Adeyemi, or Funke for short. I'm an advocate and the regional director for the International Air Transport Association in Africa, looking after external affairs and sustainability. So I have to confess that this was not the first book that I thought I had in me. Many people who know me know that I can be quite academic, and the work that I've been doing over the years as a lawyer, I'm a lawyer, and also the work I've been doing over the years has lent itself to policy issues, economics, aviation, trends, and things like that. So I thought that I was going to write something academic. I'm also a Pan-African, so I'm really, really passionate about Africa and how we can seamlessly connect the continent and integrate it better. So I also have that in me. And yes, I will get there one day, but I didn't think that this was the first message that I was going to write in the form of a book. So it was a particular incident that sparked this off. And it was an issue that someone who was very close to me did that I thought was really disillusioning and somewhat disturbing at the time. Not going into details, but basically it was just a question of me not understanding that we were not on the same page, right? And so it became something that I needed to deal with and cope with. And typically, when I have something and I'm dealing with that's ruminating in my mind, I write. I've always loved words. I mean, I've been reading voraciously since the age of 5. I read everything in my father's library, including encyclopedias and things like that. So I've always loved words. I love the power of words. I love the way that they evoke emotion, the way that they can make you escape, the way they can transport you to different places. And so, the natural home for me to cope with the emotions I was dealing with from that incident was to write something down. It also coincided with the time that I was traveling on a business trip. And so once I got on the plane, I just started dumping my thoughts, just started putting stuff down on my laptop. So it started out as a dump, right? Just to cope with a particular incident. But then as I was on that business trip, I started to think about it more and more as a message that the world needed to hear. And so on that trip, within 36 hours, I had banged out the first 3 chapters of the book. Now that was in 2016. So this has been a 5-year journey. I launched it, I finished it in 2021 and launched, the first few days in 2022. So it took 5 years. So I have to tell you, it's been overwhelming and very, very surprising. And I know the question you're asking, I'm going to answer that. But it's been overwhelming. A lot of people who have read the book. I mean, even the most unlikely people. I was just telling someone in the store before we started that a 79-year-old woman, my friend's mother, read the book and said, wow, I'm so excited by this book. And it's inspired me to pick up my life again at 79. So I was really blown away by that. So many different reviews. Someone said, oh, I've given it to my mentees and they're raving all about it. So many people say that they can relate to the message of the book. And now, so to your question, the simple message of the book is this, that no matter what age or phase or stage or relationship status you're in life, it's incumbent on you to, first of all, be unapologetically yourself. Secondly, to live the best life that we're called to do, because we're not called here for anything else but first and foremost to be our best selves, and then to add on to that, be doing other things. And the other thing is that we're supposed to be using the totality of ourselves, and this is my own personal firm opinion, that we're to use the totality of ourselves, our gifts, our physical abilities, our talents, our passion, our interests, our experience, our exposure, everything that we have the opportunity to experience to impact the world positively around us. And the catch is, why not do this when you're either, one, single from the lens of never being married, or that you have been down that road and you're not anymore, or from the lens of someone who is called singular, which is the title of the book. And what do I mean by singular? It's such a wide and broad category. Did you know that empty nesters are singulars? Their children have gone off to boarding school, or they've gone off to school or university, or they're starting out in life. And now you're home alone or home with your partner. And perhaps, you focus so much of your time and attention on them, which is a laudable thing and it's wonderful. But now what? What do you do? So you have time on your hands. And so perhaps you've put off some of your dreams, your own personal objectives and goals for your own life in order to do that. So it's now time for you to get back to it. Did you also know that it is for people who have been bereaved? You've lost your spouse, that relationship has ended. So what next? What do you do? My mom is in this category and I talked to her about it and she gets it. She understands what this message is about. And there's so many in there. But it's not just about women, it's men too. Now to the literary world, I'm so impressed, honestly. Like there's a boom of writers all around. I mean, before now, we know that some of the greats have come from Nigeria and Africa. We have, Chinua Achebe, Wole Soyinka, Buchi Emecheta, Ben Okri. There's so many of them that have been absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite books is So Long a Letter by Mariam Abba, a Senegalese writer, a forerunner of her time, a pace setter, a female writer talking about constraints of a Muslim religious society and how she survived that. So there's so many wonderful examples and legacy examples to choose from. But more recently, there's been so much going on in the literary space. And I think we have some of our very prominent writers to thank for that. Like Chimamanda Adichie. She's done a great job putting writing by women and writing by Africans on the global stage. And I think that's really opened the door for a lot of people to think, well, I can do this too. If I feel like this is a passion for me or this is something that I'm interested in, then I can do it. So there's a lot of inspiration out there, but there can be a lot more. I know that so many people have stories within them that they want to tell. A lot of people don't know how to go about it. And I guess the message there is, you just start with your thoughts. Don't worry about the words, don't worry about format. Just start with putting your thoughts down, and then you can start to create, the structure around it. But if you have a story